Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share the day's astrology with you with a little help from Tarot. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology post, which you can find on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Here I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page. I'll do a quick review of today's astrology and then play another card that may give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups relates directly astrologically to the second 10 days or the second decan of the sun's transit through Cancer every year. So here we are right smack in the middle of the sun's transit through Cancer. And Cancer is the cardinal water sign. Three Cups is the water element of tarot, and water element symbolism really talks about our emotions, how we feel about things, how things feel in our heart and our mind and our bodies. It also talks about our intuitive capacity because, of course, our emotions, the way we feel about things, is sort of part of how our intuition speaks to us. And it also relates to our creative capacity, like literally our fertility in the world. So understand that the sun in Cancer is a very fertile time of year. It's a time when a lot of babies are conceived. And so if you're not trying to conceive any babies, be a little more careful than usual, right? Okay, so the Three of Cups represents friendship, having a community or a cohort of people who know you and see you and support you and celebrate you and understand your potential better than really probably anybody else. And this is a really happy place to be. You see these people appear as though they're dancing, they're in motion, they have their cups raised in celebration. There are fresh grapes and pumpkins all over the ground around them. And so, they're probably celebrating something that they've done together, some completion they've come to. But really, they're just there to celebrate one another. They see one another, the powers they have, the things they're capable of, and they appreciate one another. Okay, so this is a joyous gathering of friends. It's a good time of year where people do get together with their friends to catch up and appreciate one another. There's a very loving unity and camaraderie vibe to it. It's very social, and it asks that we invest our time in the people that we keep close to us, that we like to keep around us. Okay, and with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Cancer. The sun in Cancer is really a time when we are inspired to nurture and protect. We are thinking very much about the stuff we most care about and how that has to do with how that impacts the people we most care about. Okay, so it's also a time when people make commitments or when we recommit ourselves to the maintenance of these connections and attachments we have to ourselves and to others. We're really heartfelt in our motivations. And when the sun is in Cancer, we'll also fiercely defend whatever it is that we hold the most dear. The moon is a waxing crescent at this time. It will come the first quarter on Wednesday in Libra. So right now we're in the week of time when we spend basically dreaming up new ideas for how we'd like things to go and setting intentions and formulating those intentions into plans and then finalizing those plans into sort of actionable goals that we can begin to act on with that first quarter moon. And the sun moving out of Leo and into Virgo this morning, really, that's really good news considering that we have been formulating these plans and we're getting ready to sort of lay them down in such a way that we can have these actionable goals. Virgo is a great vibe for sorting things out and making them very easy for us to handle. On the moon side of the page today, moon goes trine to Mars. We get this blessing of boldness and courage and a desire to take direct action in the heart and home. That trine vibration says the stuff that we want to act on in the heart and home is really blessed. It's going to have a really positive outcome for us, even possibly more positive than we think it will be. And then there's a 2.5 hour void of course here between when the moon goes trine to Mars, which is its last aspect in the sign of Leo, and when it makes ingress to Virgo at 7:30 this morning. So that void of course area is like a gap between those two signs that says, the lunar influence is less filtered, it's more direct in our lives, and so it's easier for us to get in touch with our moons. In other words, our feelings, our intuitions, what it is like for us personally. And getting in touch with that, then we can have important conversations with ourselves, with our ancestors, and with spirit about how things are going and how we would like to move forward. And then at 7:30, moon goes into Virgo, and we become really resourceful problem solvers, more resourceful than we usually are, regardless of our regular moon, sun, or rising sign. And then on the sun side of the page today, Mercury this evening at 9 o'clock goes quincunx to Pluto. And think of quincunx as like an almost opposition. So if you wanted to see Mercury and Pluto, you would probably, at this time, you would probably need two telescopes, one that you can point in the direction of Pluto and one you can point in almost the opposite direction of Mercury. And that sort of gives us a clue as to what the vibration is like, because we can't hold both Pluto, the sort of depths of our subconscious being, the sort of truth behind the feelings, right? We can't hold that in our view at the same time we're holding in our view our thoughts, plans, and communications on the day-to-day basis. So it'll be a challenge to apply our deeper understanding about the why and how of the things that we do to our day-to-day actions. And if you're finding it difficult at this time, this is just today and tomorrow, but if you're finding it difficult at this time to sort of, get that depth of perception for yourself, perhaps just give yourself a little bit of a break. It's okay that we can't always peer into the subconscious. The subconscious is down in the subconscious for a reason. We're not really supposed to or meant to dwell there constantly all the time. In the ongoing column on the sun side of the page, we have this sun square Jupiter that just says, wow, we've got a lot of good fortune. Whatever we focus our energy and our attention, our efforts on, are going to expand in positive ways, okay? And that square aspect there just says, yes, and when you start to feel successful, when you realize how much good fortune you have, how lucky you are, or how well things are going for you, you've got to stay grateful. We have to practice some humility and positivity, because if we don't stay grateful, then we might get arrogant, and then Jupiter will stop working with us as well. Jupiter will have something to say about it, and so will Saturn. Saturn doesn't care for arrogance either. Also in the ongoing column, we have Mars square to Pluto. This is our red flag warning, and this just says, there's probably something that we want to get. There's something we desire, and it may be just out of our reach, or it may even be within reach. And it's possible that it's even there and it's ours for the taking, right? If we can just get to it. But listen, we can't get to it by bullying other people. We can't get to it by pushing people out of the way, stepping on people's toes, being aggressive, assertive, and unkind with people, or what do I want to say? Impulsive. I want to say irritable. Okay, like we can't be showing our irritation at people and sort of snarling at people to get out of our way as we're on the way toward this thing. And the thing is going to be about power. Okay, Mars and Pluto are both about the power we wield in the world. One is more direct and one is a little more indirect. So there's the aggressive style, which is sort of pushing people around or snarling at people to push them out of the way. And then there's the passive aggressive style, which is sort of sabotaging the whole game so that the table tilts in our favor, right? We don't want to do any of that, because look, the chances are when we're feeling this assertive about gaining something that gives us a feeling of more power, we're probably going to get to it, okay? But is it going to be worth it if we turn around and we also sort of Five of Swords style, don't really have any friends that want to hang out with us and celebrate the thing that we achieved. Mars is also sextile to Saturn, so this is really good working vibe. It reminds us that we can collaborate with others rather than competing with others. We can collaborate with others and still get to the goals that we have set for ourselves. Mercury is trine to Saturn right now, and so that's really a blessed functioning in terms of our ability to persevere, our ability to stick with the plan and keep doing the work. All of this together is very positive. And as long as we're focused on, as long as our focus is on stability, on what it takes for us to feel stable, and because Saturn is in Aquarius, that's going to have to do with what it takes for the community to feel stable. As long as we're focused on that work, we're going to do well. We just have to really mind our power struggle impulses there, okay? And then Mercury is square to Neptune, which would normally equate to a certain amount of lack of clarity or confusion on situations, but Neptune is currently retrograde, and that sort of lifts the veil and takes away our illusions and sort of any how do I say this? Any illusions we've been operating under, any false pretenses we've been operating under, either known or unknown, they are likely to become really obvious to us. So even those ways in which we've been sabotaging ourselves, it's going to become really painfully obvious to us when Neptune is in retrograde. And that's great with Mercury square retrograde Neptune, because I think it's just it's helping us take a more direct look at the lies and the fantasies as they fall away and see the truth be uncovered, right? So we're gaining more clarity. Ask a lot of questions at this time, okay, especially as we're working toward some really specific goals. And Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, so we are checking in with ourselves. We are reflecting and reviewing on what it is that it takes for us to feel socially supported by the community, and those things that support us but they don't support other people, they're going to have to go. So look around for things to rely on that everyone can rely on. And then Pluto retrograde, like we are all going through deep and total changes. We really don't even necessarily know what they are as we're going through them. We may not even know what they are until like we look back and we say, hey, I changed my mind about that, or I changed my heart about that, or I changed my whole course of action or my whole way of being around this one discovery that I made back in, July of 2022. So, just understand that and give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. It feels really personal, and it's definitely real. If you feel yourself going through these internal changes, you're not alone. But even though it feels personal, we're all going through it. Okay, and with all of that said, the Seven of Cups. So we come back to the idea of illusion, okay, of there being a lot of choices about us, perhaps lacking direction when Neptune is involved. But again, Neptune has just gone retrograde, so we get a lot more clarity on the choices that are available to us. We can probably see a little bit more into what different kinds of satisfaction these different options might give us. And having that clarity is going to be great because we have this blessed functioning between Mercury and Saturn that says, when we think with clarity, we can act with clarity, we can move forward more quickly, and our actions are, more effective. Okay, we're extremely effective at this time. We're also extremely persistent at this time. So, if anything lacks clarity, especially when it comes to this stuff that you're working on, if anything lacks clarity, I encourage you to sit with it and to give it a little more rational up close inspection. Okay, Mercury style. Take a look at it, touch it, smell it, taste it, see what you really think about it before you move forward with it, okay? And the truth will be told. The truth will come out. You'll understand that the quality is there that you need or is not there that you need. And take it together with the Three of Cups. Well, cups and cups, my friends. So this is all about our emotional life. It's about our intuitive capacity and also our creative capacity. Um, these are the kind of friends that we would discuss our options with, even the options that we think might sound flighty, dangerous, or a little bit crazy. These are the friends that, we sit down together and start, talking about our plan to take over the world, however that looks for each and every one of us, and where we get the support. Part of the support we get is helping us. Part of the support we get from people who know us well and who see us and celebrate us and understand our potential is that they're going to know which options really aren't us. They don't really reflect us, or they don't really reflect our human potential. Okay, so it can be easier to narrow down your options and to see clearly what's going on in terms of all the options when we call on the support of friends who understand us well. And this is the time to do that. The sun is in Cancer. We're out celebrating with people. While we're out celebrating, we should share about ourselves and what it is we're thinking about and all the options that we're considering. I believe that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you being present. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.